60 years down the line, Kenya's had its fair share of achievements and challenges. 5 presidents have ruled the nation. The population has grown from 8.6 million in 1963 to over 50 million today. There's so much to celebrate and more to improve on as a nation as we pride ourselves as the heritage of splendor. A very good evening to you and welcome to Hope TV Newswatch on this 12th day of December 2023. My name is Kennedy Kimani. And my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation tonight is Boniface Morethi. Now, President William Ruto has today led Kenyans in marking the 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations at the Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi. Jamhuri is the Swahili word for republic, and the holiday officially marks the date when Kenya became an independent country. That is on the 12th of December 1963, 6 months after gaining internal self-rule on the 1st of June 1963 from the British. This was President Ruto's second Jamhuri Day celebration since he assumed office in 2022.
60 years ago, on a day like this, Kenya took its final step of the freedom struggle to become a sovereign republic. I am delighted to have the privilege of leading our nation in celebrating this milestone in our journey to national independence. According to the vision of our forefathers who fought for this country's freedom, independence was intended to bestow on us the gift of political as well as economic self-determination. This anniversary gives us the opportunity to gather as a family and reflect together on how we have fared over the course of 6 decades. It is clear that we have made undeniable progress on many fronts, and as a result, our nation has come a long way in the right direction. Before that first Jamhuri Day, Kenya's sovereignty was exercised by an unelected foreign and colonial power for the benefit of an occupying minority.
The freedom we gained in 1963 placed us in charge of our destiny, a destiny of freedom from poverty, disease, and illiteracy. Our country has made monumental progress in these fronts. Our beloved President, Dr. William Ruto, is implementing a radical plan, the Kenya Kwanza Plan for socio-economic transformation. For instance, in just a year, Your Excellency, you have laid a firm foundation for socio-economic transformation. In October, you put the nation on course to achieving universal health coverage. Under our President's leadership, we are implementing comprehensive educational reforms through the competency-based curriculum, which we have far-reaching positive implications on our country. Your Excellency, the fifth administration is expanding financial inclusion to drive entrepreneurship, besides undertaking fundamental reforms in the public sector, among other interventions.
Our trials and our triumphs since independence teach us 2 lessons, Your Excellency. We advance when we set aside our differences and commit ourselves to the common good. We fall behind when we are divided. So the first thing that this new generation of leaders must do is to rededicate ourselves to national unity. One, national unity means inclusion. This new generation must make certain that no one, whatever their race, whatever their religion, whatever their region, whatever their political affiliation, will be denied a say when we make decisions for our country. Every Kenyan deserves to be heard.
President William Ruto has announced that Kenya will be a visa-free country beginning January next year. While making the remarks at the Uhuru Gardens, when he led the nation in marking 60 years since Kenya became a republic, the head of state noted that a digital platform has been developed to ensure that all travelers to Kenya are identified in advance on an electronic platform, adding that all travelers will obtain electronic travel authorization.
That Kenya is the home of humanity is a scientific fact that fills us with pride and underscores our rich heritage. It is with great pleasure, as President of this extraordinary country, to make a historic announcement of the decision of the Government of Kenya. Beginning January 2024, Kenya will be a visa-free country. It shall no longer be necessary for any person from any corner of the globe to carry the burden of applying for a visa to come to Kenya. To echo the call of the Turkana people to the world, Tobongu Lore, a simple message to humanity: welcome home. This is why the Government of Kenya has abolished the requirement of visas for all visitors. To implement this new policy, we have developed a digital platform to ensure that all travelers to Kenya are identified in advance on an electronic platform. Consequently, all travelers will obtain electronic travel authorization as they come to Kenya.
President William Ruto presided over the Kenya Defence Forces consecration, presentation and trooping of colours by the 25 Mechanized Infantry Battalion. According to the military traditions, the colour stands for the honour accorded to a unit or base, thus its well-guarded and treasured possession, since its loss might lead to the disbandment of a unit or the base. The consecration and presentation of the unit's colours to the battalion marks the unit's final milestone in its formation. The presidential colour is trooped when a unit or base performs a national ceremony in which the commander-in-chief or head of state of a foreign country is honoured with a military parade known as Guard of Honour. The regimental colour is presented to a unit or base at the same time with the presidential colour, and it is displayed whenever the unit or the base performs a ceremony for general officers who are accorded half-guard parades whenever they pay a courtesy visit. Both presidential and regimental colours are carried by a commissioned officer and escorted by 2 armed senior non-commissioned officers.
Stand before God this day and ask His blessings upon these colours and standards, and pray that they may be an abiding symbol of our duty towards our President and towards our country, and a sign of our resolve to guard, preserve, and sustain the great tradition of bravery.
President William Ruto has awarded Faith Kipkett with the highest civilian award, that is the Elder of the Order of the Golden Heart EGH. The award from the head of state comes hours after Kipkett was named the Women's Athlete of the Year by World Athletics in Monaco. The award by the Global Athletics running body was historical for the middle distance runner, as no Kenyan had won it before. While delivering his speech during the 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations, President Ruto confirmed the 29-year-old with the honor, saying that Kipkett has earned her place at the very top, from running barefoot to breaking 2 world records within a year.
The highest honor our country awards its citizens who illuminate the path of excellence. She has earned her place at the very top, from running barefoot to breaking 2 world records within a year, is the ultimate stage of heroism. Faith's journey is an inspiration to all our young and aspiring athletes. I equally salute Ferdinando Manyala, Mary Mora, Kevin Kiptum, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, Faith Cherotich, who have also registered their presence in the world stage, and they too will be feted.
Now to other Jamhuri Day celebrations across the counties, and security concerns took center stage as Bunga County celebrated Jamhuri Day. Led by Governor Kennedy Lusaka, the local leaders have asked Interior CS Kithure Kindiki to transfer police officers who have served the county for a long time. Bunga County Commissioner Thomas Sankei, however, assured the residents of their security, adding that those disrupting the peace in the region will face the full force of the law.
Thank the Bunga County as top in matters of gender-based violence and teenage pregnancy. This is a label that we must reverse and do so collectively. I urge our youths not to destroy your future by exposing yourselves to early pregnancies, HIV infections, or other sexually transmitted diseases. The scripture tells us that good things come to those who wait. So please be patient and you'll enjoy your long life.
Ongea na OCPD, maswala kuiangalia upya. Nimekuwa kule Mechimeru, wanasema kwamba kuna askari wamekaa huko muda mrefu kule Navakholo, wanakuja wanaibia watu, wanarudi pande ile, hakuna patrols zinafanya. Akaru tukasikia kuna kuwa na shida. Mimi nakuomba ya kwamba tuweze kupiga reshuffle, tuweze kufanya overhaul ya security apparatus, labda hawa wananchi wanaweza ya kwamba tuna usalama wa kutosha.
Kuna mheshimiwa amezungumzia kuna bunduki zinatembea. Hata hilo linahitajika kuchukuliwa hatua ya haraka, sababu bunduki nayo ikitembea hata inaweza kuwa moja, lakini inaweza hangaisha Bungoma mzima. Kwa hivyo wale wanahusika, I'm sure the DCI wako hapa, hiyo bunduki itafutwa kwa haraka ili waache kusumbua wananchi wetu.
Siaya County Commissioner Julius Otieno has warned criminals to reform and surrender to authorities or face government's wrath. Otieno, who was addressing the public at the Kenya Medical Training College grounds in Siaya town during this year's Jamhuri Day celebrations, said that the county had no space for criminal activities and those who fail to heed to the call must be ready for tough choices, as the government will not relent in its quest to ensure security of its citizens and their property.
We've had challenges as a county. Wakati karibu wote tulikuwa wageni, tulikuwa na changamoto kule ya Winga, where we had some terrorists trying to invade our corner. Walijaribu kutuhangaisha kidogo kwa muda mfupi sana, but they were amateurs. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate our security officers, right from the police department, relevant agencies, our ngao on the ground, pamoja na wananchi. Kupitia ile ushirikiano wa karibu, tuliweza kushika wengine walisafirishwa kisheria. Tunajua kusafirisha kisheria na hali iko sawa. Na hakikishia kwamba kwa upande wa usalama hiyo sehemu mbele iko sawa. I call for continued partnership with members of the public in giving out information. Pia hapa Siaya kumekuwa na changamoto kidogo, watu wanahangaishwa hii town, hawezi tembea bila wanataka. I'm glad that the new team wako sawa. We are on top of things, na mjue ya kwamba mambo yenu iko sawa. Kisherekea Krismasi na mwaka mpya, kae mkijua ya kwamba usalama wenu imelindwa. Kile naomba wananchi wazuri wa Siaya, mwe mnapeana habari kwa maafisa wetu. Nasema hivyo kwa sababu kisa kinatendeka, baada ya siku 2-3 naona vijana wanalipisha kisasi, wanaenda kuua washukiwa, kuchoma manyumba zao, maanisha kwamba wanawajua. Why do you wait to go and revenge? Why don't you give us that information so that we can deal with it? Na wasi sana, msichukue sheria mikononi. Kama mko na majina ya washukiwa, mtuletee.
And in the Rakanidi County, the Rakanidi Governor Muthoni Njuki is calling on President William Ruto to institute measures that will cushion Kenyans from the high cost of living while asking Kenyans to be patient. Speaking at the Chuka DC grounds during the Jamhuri Day celebrations, Governor Njuki said Kenyans are becoming wary of the status as is, and it was incumbent of the Kenya Kwanza government to rein in on the current status. Consequently, Governor Njuki has lauded President Ruto's administration in its efforts of settling the country's debt, noting that the debt levels are now becoming manageable.
Mafuta ndio hiyo bei iko juu. Interest rate hata ile tunaendanga kukopa pesa iko juu. Stima saa nyingine zinakuwa ama zinapotea usiku. Lakini you need to appreciate William Ruto alichukulia hii serikali yake wapi. Mandeni ilikuwa mingi. Na yeye bila anafanya saa hii watu wetu wa Tharaka-Nithi County ni kufanya ukarabati. Kujaribu kufanya calibration. He is doing some serious economic reforms. Na wakati unafanya hilo ukarabati zingine kunakuwa na ugumu kidogo. Kwa hiyo ombi langu, let us not lose hope.
Lakini kwa sababu Mkenya amefika saa hii, sioni kama ikiendelea tena mwaka moja ama mbili, sioni kama bado tutakuwa tumesimama. Kwa hivyo kama serikali mpaka tufanye bidii tuhakikishe kwamba ile tunaita the cost of living for Kenyans has come down. Na niko nashukuru leo kwa sababu rais wetu amesema kwamba tumelipa deni karibu zote. Ile imebaki ile kidogo tu ambayo is not threatening. Kwa hivyo uchumi kuanzia sasa tukiweka mikakati ambayo ni nzuri ya economy, uchumi itaenda kuendelea kukua nzuri. But Kenyans must not give up. They must continue fighting. Lazima Wakenya waendelee kujaribu kufanya kazi kwa bidii ili tuweze kujenga uchumi wetu ili tukue na independence ya economic.
Mombasa Deputy County Commissioner Ronald Muiwawi has warned against illegal reclamation of the ocean at Two Doors Moroto slums in order to build residential structures. Speaking today during the Jamhuri Day celebrations at Mary Cliff Primary School, Muiwawi said there are tycoons taking shortcuts, reclaiming the ocean by filling the shores with sacks of sands and then compacting the same using heavy machines before building poor structures and renting them out to desperate individuals.
Kuna wengi wetu ambao wanajaribu kukimbizana na bahari kule chini. Wanabeba magunia ya michanga, wanakimbizana na bahari kuifukuza ili wapate nafasi ya kujenga. Maji kamwe hawezi shindana nayo. Kwa hivyo kwa wale wenzetu ambao tayari mnaweka michanga magunia, naomba tafadhali na naipa tahadhari, tuache hayo maswala, tuachie miti ya mangrove ama mikoko ipate nafasi na maeneo ya kukua, samaki pia wapate nafasi yao ya kujizalisha. Na pili, ninaomba sisi kama wanachuda, hata kama tunaitwa slum dwellers, sijui Moroto, sijui Burugenge, sijui wapi, haimaanishi kwamba Mungu alituweka sisi kuwa watu wa chini. Kwa hivyo naomba tusijilazimishie kuwa slum dwellers. Wakati umetengeneza nyumba, tengeneza nyumba yenye heshima. Maana ninaamini na nimefanya uchunguzi wangu, hizi nyumba zote ziko hapa chini hazijajengwa na watu wa chini. Ni nyumba ambazo zimejengwa na watu ambao wako na uwezo.
Hususan nitazungumzia kuhusu wazazi. Shule zimefungwa, vijana wako majumbani, wachukue majukumu, wachukue responsibility zao kama wazazi, waweke watoto karibu kwenye seasoni ya festival kwa usalama, na tujue marafiki ni kina nani wanatembea nao vijana wetu, kwa sababu vijana waweza pata wenzao wasiweke kwa hali nzuri. So mimi nitasukuma kwa wazazi wapate kuweka vijana karibu.
And in West Pokot County Commissioner Apollo Okello has issued a stern warning against politicians who engage in incitement remarks regarding the security issue along the border. Speaking during the Jamhuri Day celebration at Makutano Stadium in West Pokot County, Okello emphasized that those found making such remarks will face arrest, highlighting that security officers are closely monitoring their activities. In a quick response, West Pokot County Deputy Governor Robert Komole, however, defended the right of leaders to speak out, particularly when the lives are at risk. beauty insecurity. On his part, Governor Simon Kachapin urged leaders to refrain from exploiting locals for their political interest, emphasizing the importance of genuine efforts to address insecurity rather than seeking personal acclaim.
Lakini wale viongozi wengine wachache, ukiwa na wabunge wengine, tunataka nani, tunataka kujua nani atahudhuria. Na wakiingia huko upande wa usalama pia wanaongea tu mazito na kutoka Nairobi. Wanaacha watoto wao hao kwa vita ile. So hiyo si ushujaa. Wanafikiri sasa katika na kijamaa mimi ndio mshujaa kwa sababu mimi naelewa. Mimi ningetaka kutuzi kauli zingine naweza kutuzi. Mimi nitapikia makofi ni kweli hilo. But after that I've not done the right thing. So hiyo wabunge wenu wengine mnawachagua na mnasema ni heroes, hao heroes. Wanatumia tu nyinyi kwa njia mbaya. Hata wengine wanasema mimi niko tayari kwenda jela. Na baadaye akisiko siku moja anataka watu wengi waende waone. Hapo ni mtu shujaa. Sikubali kwa jela hiyo mlistaki tumzure.
Na sasa sisi kama viongozi ambao tunasimamia usalama, naomba viongozi wengine tuungane so that we can ensure that those few areas nimesema pia iko na usalama so that we can continue with issues of maendeleo.
Crossing borders now, and the COP28 is yet to agree to a new draft deal after dismay over failing to call for fossil fuels to be phased out. The United Arab Emirates, who are the hosts of the COP28 climate summit, say today that they will seek consensus with a new draft deal after wide criticism of language on fossil fuels. Under the rules of the UN Climate Convention, agreements need consensus of all participants. Saudi Arabia has led the charge against calls backed by vulnerable nations and Western powers to phase out oil, gas and coal, the biggest culprit in the planet's climate crisis.
We need to have empathy, we need to have respect, we need to have an understanding of people's different circumstances and situations. In the UAE, we have great solar opportunities, but we don't have great hydro, right? We don't have access to those kinds of technologies. Other places do. And that's why it's important that we deliver consensus, and consensus can deliver ambitious outcomes. It's ambitious because we're all moving together, we're all moving in the same direction. That's what makes it powerful. And so I believe the consensus process of the COP is one of the most powerful processes of the multilateral system.
World Food Programme Deputy Executive Director Carl Skau has reiterated calls for a ceasefire in the Israel and Hamas war and the opening of the Kerem Shalom border crossing to help scale up aid deliveries in Gaza. Skau has said that it is unclear how long order can be sustained when so much of Gaza's population is starving, adding that aid trucks that do manage to get through the Rafah crossing aren't able to meet the need. A dozen UN Security Council envoys flew to Egypt to visit the border with Gaza just days after Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned that thousands of people in the besieged Palestinian enclave were starving.
We hear for the first time that hunger is prevailing in Gaza. More and more people haven't eaten for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Most of the people are just sleeping on the concrete. Winter is here. We have sewage water. They're struggling to find clean water. They're struggling to have food. And that was 2 weeks ago, before the offensive in the south.
While you're watching Hope TV News Watch, it's now time for a quick short break. But after the break, I'll be back with the business and sports news.
In order to keep hope alive in the airwaves, Hope Media has a couple of initiatives. Friends of Hope. Friends of Hope is you and I forming a team of well-wishers and volunteers who give in cash and kind to support in spreading the gospel at Hope Media. Currently, Hope Media is running a campaign under Friends of Hope dubbed 100 for 1. Through the campaign, Hope Media is asking Hope FM and Hope TV listeners and viewers to give just 100 shillings in order to reach one more soul with the message of hope and the gospel. Engage with us on our social media platforms at Hope FM Live and at Hope TV Kenya. Kuwa rafiki mso leo.
Je, ushawahi kuweka jambo kwenye mizani? Ushawahi kupata uzito wake? Haya basi, usitapetape zaidi. Naomba unigande, maana mizani ipo hapa kwa ajili yako.
Vyakula na mbegu za kitamaduni,
na kutuliza fikra na kukuwezesha kupima masuala ibuka katika jamii. Tena kwa busara. Tukutane mizani kila Ijumaa saa 1 machweo kwenye runinga ya Hope TV.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Let's get down to business now, and the National Transport and Safety Authority has proposed to increase service costs so as to bridge the revenue deficit. In the new proposal, if you wish to change your motor vehicle color, you will have to pay 20,000 shillings, up from 500 shillings. License review for driving schools will double from 100,000 shillings to 200,000 shillings, while speed governor replacement will increase from 50,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings. The conversion of foreign license plates to domestic plates is set to increase from 1,000 shillings to 10,000 shillings. Kenyans seeking transfer ownership of their vehicles will be charged 10,000 shillings, up from 1,660 shillings. The renewal of a second-hand motor dealer license is also set to increase from 4,200 shillings to 100,000 shillings. The market for fast-moving consumer goods has been growing rapidly, with the focus being on food and non-alcoholic beverages, personal care products, and household items. This subsector is characterized by intense competition, with players competing on price and product innovation. The demand of this market, former Naivas Supermarket's Chief Commercial Officer Bunga Kimani has launched a new retail concept of hard discounted stores targeting the mass market in what is aimed at helping households cope with the tough economic times. Jaz Outlet will be the first branch to be strategically located at Buruburu Estate to serve the expansive residential area of Eastlands, Nairobi.
Current issue of the economy is that most Kenyans, unfortunately, have actually not had any income increase, but the price of our commodities has actually been going up. So with that bit, we decided to come up with Jaz. Jaz, everyday low price. And nothing else. It's actually to come up with very few SKUs. SKUs, these are key selling items. Work with very few suppliers, and together with that particular group of suppliers and other entrepreneurs, we actually come and give and pass 100% of that saving to our customers. So this is a place where we are committing to no gains for short-term profits. What we're doing is coming up with a very unique concept. When you come in here, you will think you're in a wholesaler, but you'll also think that you're actually in a modern trade store. So we are in between what you can actually call your everyday modern trade retail supermarket and your general trade supermarket. So it's a mash of the two, and that is exactly what you're offering to the Kenyan consumer. More importantly, it's nothing else. We have our own brands that we also are coming in and working in to make sure that we provide the best quality items. A good example is actually having worked with Njoro Canning together with their farmers. We are now able to offer baked beans at 89 shillings. Rather than where you actually have that the rest of the market is at 124 shillings. We're actually working with on the sauces side, on the tissue side. If you look at our cleaning agents, for example, almost 30% the price of actually the market leaders and all that. All what you're trying to do is making sure that the Kenyan customer can say, this is a Jamhuri Day gift to the general population.
Now, Kenyans dominated the World Athletics Award 2023 in Monaco, with the world record holder for the men's marathon, Calvin Kiptum, and the double world record holder, Faith Kipyegon, named as the Athletes of the Year in the track events and out-of-state events, respectively. World 800-meter silver medalist Emmanuel Wanyonyi and World 3,000-meter steeplechase bronze medalist Faith Cherotich were also crowned as the male and female rising stars, respectively.
Wow, I'm so proud of myself. You know, to have achieved what I achieved this year was magnificent. It was a dream come true from long time ago. So I'm so proud of myself.
Mara ya kwanza nataka kushukuru mafans wangu kwa kunivotia. Nimekuwa mshindi leo wa wanariadha bora na washukuru sana.
Really proud of them, making Kenya proud. Now, Nigeria's Victor Osimhen has been named as the African Men's Footballer of the Year, while his compatriot Barcelona forward Asisat Oshoala claimed the top prize in the women's category. Osimhen scored 26 goals, topping the Serie A scoring charts as he helped Napoli end a 33-year wait for the Italian title last season. The Napoli striker is the first Nigerian player to win the award since Nwankwo Kanu in 1999. Oshoala was named the African Women's Footballer of the Year for a record 6th time. She overcame injury to help Nigeria reach the last 16 at the 2023 World Cup, where they were beaten by England on penalties. The 29-year-old also won the Women's Champions League and a Spanish title with Barcelona.
Football player on the African continent. She's from the beautiful, beautiful country. You know, I can't see anyone. Asisat Oshoala. Asisat Oshoala.
Best Women Player of the Year from Nigeria. Congratulations once again. Yes, can we please give her a big round of applause as she's coming up on stage to receive her trophy.
Football is a team sport. It's a team game. And I will urge all the federations in Africa to please come together. Let's work together and build our continent. Let's make it the best in the world. It is very, very possible. It happened the last World Cup, the Men's World Cup. We saw what happened. We shocked the world. And the last World Cup, all the national team from Africa that represented Africa in Australia, we made history.
The Player of the Year for 2023, the most in terms of the votes that has been cast, is also from the beautiful country, Victor Osimhen.
Congratulations to Victor Osimhen, big winner of this year, Player of the Year in the men's category at the 2023 CAF Awards. An exceptional season.
One of the most prestigious awards in world football. It's a dream come true for me. I want to thank everyone that have seen me through life's journey, in achieving my dreams, in achieving my goals. I appreciate Nigerians for their support. I appreciate Africa for putting me on the map, for encouraging me, for defending me, regardless of my shortcomings. Thank you so much.
Manchester United will have to beat Group A winners Bayern Munich at Old Trafford tonight in their final fixture of the round so as to progress in the round of 16 in the UEFA Champions League and hope that Galatasaray draw at Copenhagen. In the other group's match, defeats to Bayern, Galatasaray and Copenhagen have left the Red Devils in this difficult position. Other Champions League fixtures slated for tonight include Lens versus Sevilla, PSV versus Arsenal, Copenhagen versus Galatasaray, Napoli versus Braga, Union Berlin versus Real Madrid, Inter Milan versus Real Sociedad and Salzburg versus Benfica. To the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for watching Hope TV News Watch. We really do appreciate the value of your time. On behalf of the whole team that made this broadcast a success, have yourselves a blessed night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation tonight has been Boniface Moridi.